Pleased to be joined by head coach Erik Vance and Mr. Frank Barker. Start with you this week, Coach Barker. Great showing last weekend. Another solid performance on both sides. Kind of talk about your thoughts on that.
Well, first of all, we ran in a great facility. The amphitheater that we finished in, that they also had to run around, it used to be for horse jumping, and so we had a couple of barricade. They had to jump step on a hay bale and then go on over it and finish it. And the guys had to do that 3 times. Girls just did it once, so that added a little something to it. Plus, getting there, they ran up a big, long, steep hill. As one of my kids said, it was a long way up that hill. I said, well, just think how far down it was going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, the facility was built in 1938 by the PWA, and so the old amphitheater was just fun. The kids ran well. We had a little kind of minor turnaround in the girls' deal. Leslie Romero, she beat CC, and so did Poro. Talking to CC after the race was over, and this week she's complaining a lot about her hamstrings being really tight, so we're taking care of that, and she'll be back in her old running form. But it was great to see. The competition was super between those kids, and they had a good time. I mean, everybody up there, with the exception of CC, had their personal best for the season. Didn't matter men or women, they did, and it was just really a super thing to see. On the men's side, kind of thought we might be challenged a little bit from the kid from the New Mexico Highlands, and first lap it looked like it would be. And then the second lap, Felix gets off the course, and he was way out in front of that guy, and then all at once the guy was back on him when Felix figured out, and he's running through the bushes and jumping over all kinds of stuff he didn't need to be on to get back on the course. And then next thing we know, he just dumped that kid and just beat him unmercifully. And then Andrew ran a really smart race and did well. And the guys just competed. I mean, that's all they did. They refused to lose.
Absolutely. Do you feel like, I talked to Coach Vance after the race last week, mentioned Leslie got her first collegiate win. As a coach, how proud are you of her of accomplishing that? And you see, how can she build on that?
Well, she got excited. She felt good, and she has her first collegiate win. In fact, I think if you go back in high school, she ran against a girl at her high school that was just a little bit better than her. It may be one of her first victories, period. She ran against this girl's running for Rice, and she's really a stud. But Leslie's getting there, and you win a race and your confidence level goes up. That's all. That's the bottom line. So I think that all of those girls, including Leslie, are going to be really running very well from here on out. And they have been.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, at this point in the season, with the amount of success y'all have had, you feel the team kind of feeding off each other on both sides? At this point, are they competing with each other?
I definitely think they are. You see those guys mix it up. The girls, you get that big flip. We kind of had a pretty solid for the last year and a half. We've had, the distance hierarchy's pretty much been laid out. It's been CC first, Leslie second, Poro third. To see a little shake up in that, and not to say that CC ran a poor race, because she ran a really good race. Those other girls just kind of broke through on her, and to see that, I know they definitely push each other like that. Caitlin Mercer just keeps getting better every single week, so I know they're feeding off of it. And then the guys, they just go out and put the hammer down every week. They push each other. We've had a different finish order past third place about every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been something different. You see a different guy going for it, getting up there further. So I definitely think that day in, day out in practice and going with each other, they definitely are forcing the other people to get better, because they know if they don't, they're not going to be up there where they want to be.
Absolutely. You're going to run a day earlier this week. Can you kind of talk about where we're going? Not as far as a trip this week, and some of the things you want to see.
Well, it's a nice trip. We'll just go over to Hobbs, so especially where you get that hour back on the way. We're going an hour and a half, 2 hours down the road. It's a nice, easy little day trip. Leaving early in the morning, no hotels, nothing like that. Just get on the bus and go. It's a fast course. It's really pretty much flat. You're entirely pretty much in the park, and you're just pretty much flat the whole way. Just a couple big loops. First goal, I really want to see Felix break the course record. It's pretty quick, but I think it's something he can go do. He wasn't far off of it last year, I think. So I'd like to see him go break the course record and put in a good W. And then the rest of those guys, I just want to see them go out there and compete and push each other. I'd like to see them mix it up a little bit, continue to race smart on our girls. I just want them to go keep putting heat on New Mexico Junior College. That's what it's about, and we'll see what we can get done. See if we can go get them beat at their place because they're going to come over here the next week.
Absolutely. Coach Barker, on the women's side, you do have a veterans team. On the men's side, a couple new faces. Do have, some guys that came back last year. With the success that y'all have had, how do you kind of build on that? How do you make sure you don't take a step back and, keep progressing?
Just tell me, I think I don't have to really say much to the guys. It's kind of like they look around, they are thinking, we don't want to be the first group. We don't want to be the first group that doesn't do something. And they build on that, and they know when we recruit those guys, we tell them, you're coming to a championship program. We would not recruit you if we didn't feel like you could be here and help us and help yourself and get better. And I think they know that. And, they work so hard to get there, and shoot, they look at the past and they're thinking, we're going to be that team. It's really funny because at breakfast today, I was sitting with a bunch of the guys, and the first thing they asked me was, how do you compare this team to last year's team? Because, we had a couple of perfect scores last year. And I told them, I said, you guys are better. In my estimation, you're better. And so they started throwing that around the table, and what they came out with was they run closer together than those guys did. So I think they're feeding on it. So it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Pulled out a little hardware today. I don't know if it was just a ring cleaning day at the Barker household or just a reminder to the guys, hey, let's go get one of these. Talk about what you got on there.
Well, of course, they're national championships. This is one that we got this year. That was last year's. This one was 2012. This was 11. That's the National Association ring, and this one was 14. So, you guys last week were saying something about Erik had on both his rings, so I decided I'd just throw a little hardware at you.
He's got to show me up. He's got to remind me that I don't have near as many as he does. He's got to remind me when we get out of here. So every once in a while, he just puts me back in my place.
Hey, but your hand's not sitting lonely there. You got
I got one. I tried to keep it a little more subtle today. I just got one on today.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, anything you want to add before we take off on Friday?
Nope. If you want to get down the road and see us in Hobbs, we'll be running at 5 o'clock Mountain Time for the women, I believe, and the men will run about 5:30, 5:35, and then put it on your calendars next week. We'll be at home, running there right by the track. Come out and see this team that's going to be a special one to see. Come see these guys run and these women run.
That's what Coach Barker. Anything you got?
I think that's good. We're great.
All right. Thank you guys, and good luck on Friday, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.